Hello and welcome space nerds and strategy enthusiasts to your next obsession, influence. Unlike anything you've played before, a hard, science-based sandbox strategy MMO, in today's video we're going to take you around and show you the ropes so you too can become a capable Adalian colonist ready to take on the asteroid belt. Build your settlements, craft powerful spaceships, and become a renowned merchant among the stars. In this video, we cover how to set up your first account and crew in Influence, set up your initial buildings, and take your first few actions. Influence isn't for the faint of heart, but this video will help you succeed and learn the basics. Let's get into it. To play Influence, you will need to create an account. To do this, all you need to do is select Login and create an account with your email. The game uses your account to store everything you own, including your character's ships, asteroids, and sway, so you won't get far without it. After creating your account with email, the game will refresh and we will see that it has a few options on the left, one of which is labeled Store. Let's click Store and now we can select Starter Packs. The Starter Pack is a great way to get a head start in the game. It contains crewmates and the in-game currency, Sway. Everything we need to get started. In this video, we're going to start with the basic Starter Pack, which will give us a solid foundation to begin our journey in Influence. You need at least one crewmate to play Influence, but you can have as many as you wish. The more you have, the more you can do at a time. After purchasing the starter pack, you will receive 2 crewmate tokens and sway for your first buildings. Let's navigate to the Create Crew button in the new menu and give it a click. Now we are presented with your crewmate creation story. Take your time to read through this and answer the questions as you see fit. Select your crewmate's look and name and then click Recruit. If you want to skip the story next time, simply click Skip Story. Tip: for new players, having an engineer and miner first is ideal. Want additional information about creating your first crewmate? Check out our in-depth crew and crewmate guide, which is linked below. Now that you have your first crewmate, it is time to learn a quick bit about your UI. We are going to move quickly on this one, so listen up. On the top left, you can see your selected crew with the crew's name displayed above. The crew's location is displayed just to the right of the name. Below is a bowl with chopsticks. This is your crew's ration percentage. Now, if we zoom out just a tad, you can see an icon that is ready and an icon that is progress. Ready means the task is done, and blue means the task is still in progress. The current selected lot, along with its name and lot ID, can be found at the bottom left. Now, scrolling all the way to the right, we can see what day it is in the game. Depending on what you're doing, this can be convenient. But what about all those buttons on the far right? These are all the nifty in-game menus, which we can cover a little bit later, but for now let's focus on the top right. We have the amount of sway we have. Ignore the giant number, that's a perk of being a dev in a test environment. And to the right of that, the main menu button. You can click this at any time, and it acts like a pause menu. Okay, now to cover all those other buttons. I'm going to run through this quickly, but we have plenty of other videos that will showcase these in more detail if you need help. In order from top to bottom, when in asteroid view, of course. Number 1, My Crews, where if you have multiple crews, you can swap to them easily. Number 2, My Assets, where all your in-game assets across your different crews and asteroids will be. Number 3, Asteroid Info, gives you essential details about the asteroid you are currently on or inspecting. Number 4, Orbiting Ships. This will show all ships in orbit around the selected asteroid. Number 5, Resources. This will allow you to see the resource heat maps and general abundances of any scanned asteroid. Number 6, Filter Lots. A way to filter and find particular lots of land depending on what you are looking for. Number 7, Asteroid Chat, where you can send messages and communicate with others on the same asteroid. Number 8, Asteroid Details. Catalogs all events that have happened on the asteroid, gives more depth to the asteroid, and you can find info on the resources available to mine. Number 9, Asteroid markets. This is how you access all the markets on a particular asteroid, which is used for buying and selling materials. Number 10, advanced search. This is a highly flexible and data-rich resource to find out information on nearly anything in-game. If we zoom out to the Adalian asteroid belt view, you will find some of the middle options have changed. For now, we are going to skip these, but if you are looking to purchase an asteroid, this is where it will be done. Check the video on asteroids for more detail, linked below. Whew. Okay, glad we got that started. Adalian orientation is essential. Remember that starter pack we talked about before? We will finally use it and perform our first actions as leaders. Building is a core feature of influence. You will need to build various buildings to manufacture various materials and resources. Lots and leases. In influence, buildings are constructed on lots. Each asteroid has a finite number of lots to build on, and the distance between your buildings can significantly impact how quickly things get done. Not only that, but different mineral resources have varying degrees of availability depending on where you build. It can be a lot to think about. So what does this all mean? Location, location, location. Lots can be leased from the owner of an asteroid, or if you own an asteroid, it doesn't matter so much now. Leasing a lot before building on it is vital to avoid the owner evicting you later on. After all, it's expensive to build stuff, and nobody wants to abandon their things and let somebody else have it because their lease expired. Your first building. The starter pack you purchased earlier comes with enough sway for you to build your very first warehouse, refinery, and extractor. These 3 buildings will be your most important asset for the early game. With these 3 buildings, you'll be able to mine, refine, and store goods, allowing you to start strategizing on how to expand your settlements and amass fortunes of sway. In our case, it will be a warehouse, an extractor, and a refinery. In order to find the best place to build an extractor, we can click the resources button on the far right of the screen to bring up the deposits overlay. From this menu, we can select the resource we hope to extract, and the asteroid overlay will switch to that specific resource. The brighter the green, the greater the density. For now, let's start with extracting calcite. It's very abundant and easy to extract. It's not worth much on its own, however it's a precursor to making cement, which we can sell quickly. Let's go ahead and find a spot that has a high amount of calcite and water. Once you've located a spot, go ahead and lease it out, and the lot next to it by following along here. Tip: materials can be transferred instantly up to 5 lots away. On the bottom left, you'll see a handshake button which will allow you to lease the lot. You can also find this button in lot permissions under the information tab for a lot. Simply click it and choose how long you want to lease the lot. The minimum time is 30 days, which is what we will do. The game will remind you when the lease is coming close to an end so you can renew it. We will build an extractor in the best spot and a warehouse next to it to store what we harvest. It's recommended to build your warehouse first, as without it, you won't be able to store anything you mine. Now we have the lots, and it's time to get to building. Select the second lot you leased, then select the button with 3 stacked boxes on the bottom left of the screen. This brings us to the build menu. Let's select the buildings drop-down and then select a warehouse. Complete the menu. We now have 48 hours to finish construction before our site becomes unprotected, and people can steal our stuff. So let's quickly get the materials we need to be shipped over. First, let's return to the build menu for this lot. It now shows what resources we needed and how much of each type is needed in kilotons. Take note of the amount and close this window. Now, on the far right, let's select Asteroid Markets. This opens up the asteroid markets where you can buy just about anything. Search for one of the resources you need in this menu. I'm going to do steel beams. Once selected, it takes us to a new window showing us the total supply of this goods being sold everywhere at the top, as well as showing us all the people who are selling steel beams right now, as well as how far away from us each of them is and how much each seller is charging per unit. Find the cheapest option, click it, and select Transact. You can place more complex orders in this new menu, which we discuss in our video covering marketplaces, linked above and below. For now, let's type in the number of steel beams we need for our warehouse. Select the shopping cart, and again, one more window. This is the last one, I promise you. Before finalizing our order, we simply need to select our delivery destination from the dropdown. Find your warehouse construction site on the list and complete the transaction. Do the same thing for the other required resources and wait for all the goods to arrive at the destination. You will know the goods have arrived when you get a green ready icon on the left of your screen. Select it to complete the transfers. Once all your deliveries have arrived, you can begin construction by navigating back to the building menu on our warehouse and selecting Begin Construction. Core samples. Next up, core sampling. These identify the quantity of materials buried below the crust of the asteroid you are mining. You must take a core sample before you can mine for a particular resource. However, until your warehouse is finished, you won't be able to utilize these. But it's the next step once you have a warehouse, so let's show you how to do it. Go to the market and purchase a few core drills and ship them to your warehouse. Now navigate to a lot you've planned to build your extractor on and select the drill on the bottom left. A new menu will open and we will now have the option to choose what resource we will drill a core sample for. Select calcite or any material you want to take a sample for to target that material and designate a warehouse you own containing a drill. Initiate the core sample and come back when it's done to analyze it. Then you're ready to mine materials with your extractors. We have a separate video linked below dedicated to teaching more in-depth information about extractors, but for now, all you need to know is that you need that core sample to extract resources. Congratulations! From here on, you can go and see our other tutorials to figure out anything that wasn't covered in this introductory video. Be sure to join our Discord to connect with the community and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on game news. Until next time, to my new Adalian friends.